Hello, welcome to the Dancing Oracle with Najia. I'm a psychic medium and I do a lot of readings for people. I'm also a dance teacher on Zoom. I teach Middle Eastern dance and spiritual belly dance, right? Working with the chakras. But today I'm gonna give a little insight from my viewers, from my listening audience who've written in and made comments. And I saved some of the more interesting comments that I'd like to share with you to highlight them. So let me pull them up again. I just lost them. Then here they go. All right, because I did some videos on earth changes. I've done some on my channel. I talked about a little bit of it on Linda G, Comanche Psychic, her channel, in a collaboration on April 11th. You could go to her channel and look that up. I also talked about it this week on a channel called Life After Life, NDE, where they interviewed me as well. And I talked about some of the guides, the spirits I ran into, and they showed me the future. They started showing me the future like 40 years ago. And I saw a lot of earth changes where the geography changes, and I asked, I can't recognize anything. What happened? Everything seems disoriented completely differently. I can't identify any countries here. And they said it's due to the pole shift. And imagine 40 years ago. I've never heard that term. But now we know about it because the poles have been moving every year. And they used to be in Canada. And now the North Pole is moving close to Russia. So, yeah. Anyway, we have Renee Moreno. And she had dreams about this. So she said, my dreams long ago showed me the earth splitting because of polar shifts. Earth went into darkness, but eventually I saw two suns as well. I have a number of dreams about the future that started 40 years ago, where there's two suns in the sky and cars that make no noise. In my dream, I see a car. I thought it was rolling down the street, but there was no hill. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody forgot to leave their emergency brake on. And of course, now I know it was an electric car, right? So let's read a little bit more. Renee, hi, by the way. Hi, Renee. And she says, Earth went into darkness, but eventually I saw two suns as well. Finally, there was a rainbow that connected the earth again. Earth citizens need to come together with far more compassion and forgiveness, especially with families. Hold on to faith and believe. Yes, Renee. Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is a really important time when we have to come together. Okay, excuse me, I'm so itchy. You know, that's one of the ways my mom communicates with me. She said, when I'm gone, I'm going to make your nose itch. You'll know I'm talking about you. It happens a lot when I don't normally have this problem in my normal life. It's only on YouTube. Okay, Roxanne M says, it is interesting you mentioned the earth waters swaying back and forth. Yeah, I saw sloshing. Really high waters, back and forth, back and forth. It was kind of eerie. So she said, recently, Renee says, I had some similar vision while dreaming. These instances where images appear completely not related to the previous dream, but remains clearly in your head, of water on the outside of my window where I sleep as filled to the rim of the beginning of the window on the second floor. And the flood-like waters were swaying back and forth. Ooh, I sleep on the first floor. Yeah. Okay. And I remember thinking that was a weird movement of a flooded area. Yeah, the swaying, the sloshing. I've never seen flooding where water reacts like that, you know? And it's eerie, that's how I see it. And she says, I remember thinking that was a weird movement of a flooded area. And the movement itself is what she remembers most in the dream. Very interesting. It's also validating when other psychics see the same. She says, I just came here from the channel NDE and subscribe to yours. I'm also a follower of Linda G. Sorry, I'm like itchy, itchy, itchy nose. Hi, Mom. I'm just going to acknowledge you on the other side. She'll say, I got my daughter into all that psychic stuff. She did. Okay. So, Esther. Hi, Esther. Esther watches all my videos. She's one of our VIP Oracle members, and we have many interesting chats in our Oracle group. Okay, so, and you can click the join button and check that out. Check your options out if you want to join our chat, our live chats, and among other perks. All right, so when I was around 18 years old, it started meaning psychic hearing, right? I thought I was crazy. Oh, excuse me. It is now in my head, just like when I knew I had to come and listen to you back in the early days, right? In September. Just didn't know it was my angels being there to talk to me. You told me that they were around me, watching me, taking care of me. Now I know. Lots of love, right? They've been there such a long time, Najia. God is there taking good care of me. It's stupid. I feel so much more secure knowing it with proof, right? Of course. Oh, who doesn't feel more secure with proof? Esther, come on. We need that. We're human. I've always said I was the best Saint Thomas. She means like the doubting Thomas, the apostle, that doubted that was Jesus resurrected and appearing. So she always needs to know, quotes, today I can laugh about it. Thank you, my friend. You're wonderful. Thank you, Esther. Thank you for writing in and sharing with us. Okay. And so this is from Julia. Oh, by the way, Julia dash R4Q9G. Julia is very psychic. And Julia always has the most interesting comments. She has more interesting comments than this, but this is recent, so I'm going to read it. And Julia always prays for our community, and her prayers help. Thank you, Julia, for praying. So, I did. Oh, wait a minute. I've lost the second one. Okay. This is a long one. Okay. Hello. And wishing the best. Thank you for this video. I learned so much from it. I wanted to share this experience with the community. I was praying and fasting about my soulmate. And when I pray and fast for a situation, I include everyone's situation in that fast and prayer. While I was praying about the community's soulmates. Wow, thank you, Julia. We all need our soulmate, including me. I want that experience. All right. I started to pray for God to help you and give you strength. Then Keanu Reeves popped in my head, and she started to pray for him because he's our most requested celebrity, and everyone's praying for Keanu, right? Because I said he has so much love. Let's use our community to pray for him. Instead of just asking me to read on him and pry into his life, I said, why don't we all just pray for him? Have that group effort. So she's been doing that. And Yeah, so she started to pray for God to help him with his soulmate, to give him guidance and wisdom and understanding for God to heal them. I always pray this way when, let me see where I'm at. I started seeing the numbers 222 repeating. Oh, that's the couple number. Well, I was seeing 222 a whole bunch, which led me to pray for people's soulmates. And then she continues, let me find it. She's responding now in the second continuation on this theme to the no, the mandala effect timeline shift video. I went from the timeline where Mandela died and had the memory of that timeline to where he was still alive and out of prison, and so also have the memory of that. I know that we can manifest timelines and different dimensions. And I also know that sometimes our higher self does it for us. Yeah. I am also aware of the technologies that can do the same. Yes. Yes. I'm going to talk more about that because there was talk, those technologies were talked about in 3 different public speeches from government officials. Okay. I know that when I am in a timeline that where I'm there to learn, I plant seeds in others and evolve in new energy so I can jump into the next timeline that spirit planned for me. We are made in God's image, so there is power that he has put inside of us when he created us to be able to evolve with the energy from each timeline and dimension. I saw the video that Jimmy made. That's the Tarot Ship with Jimmy. I love his channel. He talked about those speeches from the government officials, or they talked about timeline technology. Yeah. I saw the video that Jimmy made, and thank you for sharing it. The information was helpful. Whether I switch timelines or dimensions by manifestations, my higher self, or technology, I use the opportunity to be like an energy caterpillar in a cocoon and use the energy from that new timeline or dimension to evolve so I can come out. Oh, yeah. Oh, so there's another one that I want to read for you. Oh, Josephine. Josephine, hi. Josephine also watches all my videos. She's learning so much and evolving. I'm so happy that you're getting so much from the free videos. Like they're like courses or like little mini sessions, right? That you can learn all kinds of techniques in my Divine Design and Intuition playlist, and also learning about the world events and how to prepare. Thank you for mentioning me again. I love your excitement and enthusiasm. Very interesting what 2 other viewers also said in the comments section. And I hadn't thought of CERN, and Jimmy is definitely a tarot reading to also go look at. Yeah, definitely. Tarot Ship with Jimmy. I love him. Although I have my favorites like you and Tarot by Isabella and the Oversoul Archives. I hope you're doing well. Hope all the best for you. Thanks for sharing. Oh, yeah. So I also want to read another one from Julia. Okay. Hello, and wishing you a great day. This is something I talked about CERN. Many believe that because the company CERN, CERN, all caps, is shooting high amounts of energy into space with the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, that is causing an energy change in our atmosphere, which some believe is causing dimensions to overlap. Now, I experienced this about 3 weeks ago. I talk about it in at least 2 videos. Some believe this is why people have a different memory of something because they experienced it differently. That's the mandala effect. Some are concerned that because CERN is shooting all of this heavy energy into space, that is causing magnetic changes on Earth and in our atmosphere. I'm kind of worried that's going to cause the pole shift even further, by the way. Some also are concerned that this high energy shot into space might create a black hole. Thank you, and always praying for everyone. Yeah, so she always prays for everyone. Yeah. And by the way, so Karuna Maya Holistic Inc., she just, I'll just want to acknowledge you. She said, did you ever do a reading on the one and his family? We never see his family photos with his girlfriend. AG. So she's referring to Keanu Reeves. That's when everyone's asking about him. Whoever the one is, do you see her connection with his family members, his mother, his sisters? Oh, and I just wrote back, that's a great idea for a future reading. I will acknowledge that in the future. I just did a number of Keanu videos for everybody. They'll they'll air at different times. Some are for members only, and some are members first. But you will be seeing a couple of those, at least a couple. I'm trying to remember how many I did. Um, yeah. Yeah, so I just so somebody else wrote, wow, that is a trippy experience. I talked about my timeline shift. I felt like I jumped, this is by the way, MK8. I felt like I jumped timelines or something weird just this past week when we had an earthquake nearby. I was struggling with vertigo that whole morning, but I didn't feel the earthquake at all. I only knew about it because an alert went out all over everyone's phones. And then it was like she was jolted back in her body, or that version of reality. I could hear a bunch of my neighbors outside, and my next door neighbor said it shook for a long time, and they definitely felt it. I checked local online groups, and it was felt all over a huge area, with people saying it was the longest and loudest earthquake in quite a while. Yet, myself and my dogs never felt or heard a thing. Oh, I just hope this was the only earthquake we're going to have. And I bypassed it entirely. And then she writes, BTW, by the way, just had my reading with Najia earlier today, and I can highly recommend her. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed reading for you. Yes, so I hope that you're enjoying my channel. Thank you, those who are sharing your comments with the community. Thank you also for members of the community uplifting and supporting other members of the community. This really happens in my live chats. You're all so, so gracious and sweet and supportive to everyone. I love, I love, love, love that we're building community here. I love that as we go through we're going to go through some difficult times, but it's going to be okay. We have our guides and angels. That's why I'm trying to teach everyone to tune in beyond the veil. And Learn to communicate with them so you can follow the advice given to you to navigate changes right now. All kinds of changes, okay? I'll see you again. Thank you. Hit the like button. Subscribe for free. You know the drill. Bye.